So, Man City are your UEFA Champions League winners for 2023. A wonderful win over Inter Milan by 1-0. Rodri with a strike. We did award him the best goal of the tournament for this season, and he comes up with a winner in the final. Gentlemen, what a wonderful final. We spoke about it a little bit earlier in terms of the type of game that was played. Inter, of course, had the majority of the chances, and they could have been they could have got something out of this, at least send this to extra time, but in terms of the quality, City, of course, the better team.
I mean, you talk about Rodri, you know, the goal him scored, I believe it was Bayern Munich, the beautiful with his left foot, but this wasn't an easy goal either. When you see it in slow motion, that, you know, a lot of players, we spoke about, a lot of players might go for power at that pace. You know, you have so close to the goal, nobody attacking you, but the way him squeeze the ball there between posts and the defenders, that is some quality composure in that decisive moment there as well from Rodri. Good finish there from the defensive midfielder again.
All right, so as I said, there's a lot of Heineken watch parties that's taking place all around the Caribbean, all around the world, and one at the Hot Shots bar in Trinidad. That's where James is. James, I hope you can hear me loud and clear. What's the atmosphere down there like?
Adisha Palmer, Vibes Cartel said it best, win nice here at Hot Shots, and it's the end of the match, and I'm here, a former super fan, in fact, Claire, firstly tell me how you felt about the match and the atmosphere here at Hot Shots.
Well, it was a good game, good performance of the two teams, but I guess the team with the most performance, the most playing, more shoots the goals, I guess they won the match.
And what about the atmosphere? You found the atmosphere here was good?
Well, good atmosphere here at Hot Shots. It was a good vibe. I really enjoyed it.
Well, Claire, you're a super fan. I want to give you a SportsMax hamper as well as a hamper from our sponsored Heineken. You got to answer two questions first. All right, you ready for this, right? All right, my first question, who is the coach of the winning team?
Okay, he's Pep Guardiola.
All right, bing, bing, bing. That's one. So I've got a Heineken hamper to hand over here to you. Now, Claire, I know you still got some room. Answer my second question. Who was the goal scorer in the match?
Rodrigo.
Oh my God, it's too easy for Claire. Claire's just taking all of my prizes. Of course, this one courtesy SportsMax. Claire, I'm going to help you. You're going to find a strong guy to help you with that one. But that is how the action unfolded right here at Hot Shots in Tacarigua. Right now, though, I'm getting set to take you to a very nice place. In fact, that's where Hans Beans is standing by. Let's take it to Hans.
Thank you very much, James. Thank you very much, James. Listen, the celebrations are continuing here at Nice Place Bar in Chaguanas. Just one goal from Rodrigo was all it took to complete the trouble for Manchester City. Here with Kevin, the owner of Nice Place Bar in Chaguanas. Kevin, what is so special about Nice Place?
Well, firstly, I would like to say, on behalf of the Nice Place family, thank you so much from the SportsMax team for the final. It was amazing, a big turnout. Everyone has enjoyed themselves.
Listen, we really enjoyed ourselves, Kevin. How did you feel about today?
It was really good. The turnout was really good. Here at Nice Place, we want to be able to provide a comfortable atmosphere. Everybody feels safe, comfortable, enjoy drinks, enjoy everything.
So, Kevin, are you celebrating or are you crying today?
Celebrating.
Celebrating. Well, Kevin, let's continue to celebrate. We have the Manchester City supporters in the back there. Back over to you all, Donald, Oliver, and the rest of the crew in Jamaica. My name is Hans Beans. Thank you so much for watching and enjoying Champions League here on SportsMax. Remember, we bring to you the finals of the Jamaica Premier League, Mount Pleasant versus Cavalier. Look out for that tomorrow. We're going to celebrate. Kevin, let's go celebrate.
Hans, he's a vibe master, isn't he? As you welcome me back to our studio, still looking back at the final here. Man City, of course, the champions, and quite a few persons celebrating. Didn't know that there were so many Man City fans, but alas, they are. Leger, Just to get a comment from you in terms of the type of game that you expected. Did it turn out how you expected? Result, of course, a lot of us thought that City would have got the result, but in terms of the type of game that you saw.
Yeah, I expected it to be really tight. I knew Inter would make it extremely difficult for City, and they did that. They nullified a lot of the threat that they usually pose. If you think about the two biggest chances that City got in the game in terms of the goal, yes, it was a rehash of what they did in the semi-final, but that's not how City typically create their chances, penetrative passes into the half space. They usually are creating from half space to the back post or something like that. And then it was a moment of brilliance from Foden on the half turn, and he couldn't execute the finish properly. But Inter did really well to nullify City, but in nullifying City, they still couldn't get the chances of their own consistently enough to trouble City. And when they did get the chances, I guess you can say it fell to the wrong people, but those are the people that they pay to score their goals. In Lautaro Martinez, who did make the right decision when cutting back the ball, and then also when you think about the Lukaku chance as well, I don't think that they did extremely well at that. But City, it was a Kanji here playing the through ball, not the likeliest of sources, but once it fell to Rodri, that goal, I know it's not going to look as fancy as your number one goal. I'm not trying to discredit your number one goal.
Of course not.
Because he was such a lovely list and
from the
such.
same player, yes.
But in terms of the difficulty of curling that ball around, many players, when the ball rolls out to them like that, they're just thinking, okay, I'm going to put my head down, put my body over the ball and just try and hit it with as much power as possible. Him being a defensive midfielder, the reader of the game that he is, he read that situation perfectly and applied the perfect finish. And for City, it's the perfect end to the season for them. They're champions, treble winners, first-time Champions League, 3 straight Premier Leagues, a FA Cup. It doesn't get any better for them, and it doesn't get any better for their coach as well.
We have one more stop to make, and we have to make it at Island Village in Ocho Rios. Mariah Ramarak is there with a huge crowd, still celebrating Man City's victory, I suppose. Mariah.
And of course, we're having a great time here coming to you from Ocho Rios at Island Village. It's a beautiful day for Pep Guardiola and Manchester City. Not to forget the Manchester City fans, but I have to tell you, at Ocho Rios, there were some sour grape fans, and we're going to talk to one of them now. His name is Sean. He came to watch the match in a Manchester United shirt, and he had a lot to say. So Sean, how are you feeling? You came in your Manchester United shirt, and you were loudly cheering on for Inter Milan.
Yeah, I'm supposedly the Inter Milan fan for this match, but really I'm just a City hater.
What do you...
City with a passion, always have. They joined the treble club, honestly, deservingly. They played the best football this season. So, you know, deservingly they joined, but as a United fan, I can't celebrate it.
Where did Inter Milan lose this? What happened to Lukaku?
I think they just missed their chances. They came out playing a defensive game. I mean, we expected that, but at the end of the day, they just missed their chances.
Do you think you'll ever say congratulations to me and our Manchester City fans?
Not congratulations, but you guys definitely deserved it this year.
All right, well, I want to hear from a Manchester City fan now, so I'm going to call on Jerome. Jerome is a true Manchester City fan. He came up to me before the match, and we were already celebrating. Jerome, I love this, and I'm hoping that I can get it at the end.
Thank you. It was a super game today. Was not a typical Manchester City game, but we guys know that Inter, they're a defensive side, but we came through. That was a stunner of a goal from Rodri, and we're here celebrating it. Well-deserved treble for Man City.
Listen, I was a bit scared when Kevin De Bruyne came out. It's as if, you know, the Champions League is just not for him. Were you?
No, I mean, we know that we have a bench, a very strong bench. When the substitution was made, you saw that the player that came on, he upped the tempo, and we started playing a bit more, and then in the second half, we scored that goal.
So, celebrations later.
Oh my God, it's long overdue. Travel to the world!
3, Donald, 3! Well, City to the world. We're going to bring in Patrine now. Patrine took part in one of our SportsMax competitions, and she guessed accurately. She said that the scoreline would be 1-0. Did you have some inside information?
Listen, I'm just here to support my husband, and I'm not a sports fan, but he is. And I was like, I thought he was a Man City fan, so I was like, okay. And then based on what I saw that Man City was taking over the game in the first half. So I was like, my prediction was right. But thanks to my husband.
Well, Patrine, thank you so much. We loved having you here today. I hope you enjoy your prize. I will definitely be celebrating. I'm sorry that Donald, Eric, and Leger, things didn't go your way, but I'm a happy Mariah today.
Yes, we are absolutely ecstatic. I wish you could see our faces. But yeah, they are ecstatic. Rodrigo and company, he scored the winner today, and celebrating, of course, with his family. Just wonderful scenes here for him and for Man City. This is what they've been waiting for so long. Simon Evans, I'm sure it means a lot to this City squad. This is what they've been harping about, you know, since the takeover quite a few years ago, since Pep Guardiola came to this club, and they've finally achieved it, Simon.
Yeah, for a long time it seemed out of reach for them. You know, they had to establish themselves after that takeover, and with Guardiola coming in as really this dominant force in English football. And then as more and more they became that dominant force, they started to look to the Champions League as something they needed to win to prove that their project has been worth all the money spent on it, and Guardiola, the time and energy he's put into it. But for him, it's been a long wait since that win with Barcelona, and this will feel really, really sweet for him and the whole team. I think, you know, regardless of where one's loyalties lie in football, I don't think anyone could dispute that a team that won the Premier League and then the Champions League and the FA Cup in one season deserves their place in history.
And Brent, that's the point, isn't it? Based on the body of work that City has achieved this season, that they deserve this win, even their body of work in this competition.
Absolutely, you know, they've dominated at home and abroad from their perspective. They've been a strong side. They've changed the way they played this year a little bit with Haaland coming in. And done it that way as well. They've won some games with balls into a big centre forward, which they hadn't been doing before. They were even playing without one for a while. So they've won in multiple ways over the years. They've absolutely dominated really the last 6 or 7 years in England, with Liverpool competing with them for a while. And I wouldn't be surprised now to see them go and dominate in Europe in a similar fashion for a few years if Guardiola hangs around.
Brent, I'm not sure if they handled the pressure altogether well, because they didn't play like their usual selves in this final. So talk to me, Brent, in terms of their body of work, what they've done this season, if you feel that they really deserve this title.
No, without a doubt. I think they do deserve the title for what they've been able to do, their body of work. Look, from a player perspective, it is extremely difficult to keep highly paid players highly motivated, and I keep saying that. What Pep is able to do to get these players supported, I mean, you could go back to the incident with Cancelo, for example. The minute he didn't show the right mindset, he didn't buy into the culture. He was shaky. He was boxed up and shipped down. And when a manager is that ruthless and has his pulse on the players the way that Pep does, and of course, as I said, to keep them playing at this level throughout the season, you have to give him credit for what he's been able to build. Yes, they've fallen off a bit since the Manchester United game. They didn't play particularly well today. They didn't play particularly well. But for today, Donald, I think the way Inter set up did, of course, lend hand to that. Of course, the Kevin De Bruyne injury did not help as well. But what he's been able to do, as Simon rightly said, you can't bet against Pep going out now and winning 2-3 Champions League trophies in a row, because he's going to build players want to come to the football club. People want to be part of this culture. They want to be part of what he's doing. So to me, it's something that is not only just building, but it's forming into something that historically, when we look back at it, it could arguably be one of the best football clubs, or put together football clubs in the history of the sport.
Where will City fall in history? And quickly, gentlemen, because we have to wrap up quickly. Well, Leger, where do you think the City team will fall in terms of football history?
Well, this year specifically, I think probably like a top 5 club team of all time. And you have to think about their dominance, not only in terms of this season. They've won 5 of their last 7 domestic trophies, 4 League Cups, around 2 or 3 FA Cups, now a Champions League, a treble. It's undisputed. Probably top 5 of all time in terms of club teams.
Eric?
Yeah, I mean, I just thinking about some of them, you know, Barcelona, which I think was also with Guardiola in that era, year. Man United in '99, Ajax had an era in '95 where they were really class, and I don't see no reason why this team can be up there with those best teams when we look at the history. Yeah.
Simon, coming into this discussion, where do you think they fall?
Yeah, I think, you know, it's one win, so let's put it in perspective in terms of historically what it means. But in Europe, as I said, I think they can go on and win more trophies. They've got a long way to get anywhere near the history of the Real Madrids and the Barcelonas. But in terms of English club success in Europe, they are well capable of going on to become one of the all-time greats in European football. They already are in terms of the Premier League.
Well, let me clarify though. As a team, I'm talking about they can be up there. But as a club, Manchester City, as Simon says, they have a long way to go to be up there with the biggest clubs. But this team from this year is quality.
Just final word to Brent. 10 seconds, Brent.
At least it's less than 15, but no, as a team, I certainly put them up there. I would argue them and Pep's Barcelona is 1-2 for me. I think the dominance of what they do on the football pitch, it's something that I've not seen in a long time. So they're up there, top 2 for me.
Wow. That's pretty much how we put a lid on things for our Champions League final coverage and our coverage for the entire Champions League season, and it has been a little tiring, but we've seen some fantastic football. We've seen some really good goals. You saw my top 10 earlier. I'm sure a lot of you disagreed with it, but that's how football discussion goes at times. But it was an absolute pleasure bringing this season to you, and we hope that you will join us again for a new season which begins in September, maybe in a different location, who knows. On behalf of the hard-working team here at the Home of Champions, it's goodbye, and stay tuned to SportsMax and SportsMax 2.